Good evening. Thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Cody Proctor. Washington State with their final home game of the season tonight, and the Cougs certainly left no doubt out there.
Yeah, none at all. WSU demolished Arizona 44-18, but the most important note of this game, Cody?
What?
The Cougs are bowl eligible. They've got 6 wins, something a lot of people midway through the season, including myself, didn't dream of. WSU now 6-5 with this win. Obviously, they can get to 7-5 next week. This team has been through so much this year, including losing their head coach midway through with Nick Rolovich. A lot of people didn't see this coming even when they started the season 1-3 after they lost to Utah State, Utah, and USC. This is just an incredible accomplishment for this team. After the game, the team was super reflective on how they got here, and Coach Dickert and Max Borghi each spoke on this team's love for one another.
They never quit on themselves, okay? Not one person in that locker room said, hey, let's not keep moving forward. Let's do it for each other. And it's hard to describe unless you've been with them through all this, which I've had an opportunity to do. These guys even have changed my life. You know, I'll tell the story about this team and persevering because this is a story of life.
I think just the togetherness of this locker room, it's brotherhood. We all love each other. We all fight for each other, and it shows. It's bigger than football. We love each other. At the end of the day, we go out there, we do it for each other because we care. We care about one another.
Just warms your heart a little bit, doesn't it? Borghi, by the way, an incredible evening. Stiff arm a ref there to get his first touchdown of the evening. He ended up having 2 on the night. Max is now 2 touchdowns away from tying WSU's all-time touchdown record. That was set by Steve Broussard in the 1980s. 41 touchdowns for Steve during his WSU career. Max also had a career-high 139 yards of rushing this evening, a perfect way for him to cap off his career in Martin Stadium, and you can tell he's a little emotional about this all coming to an end.
It hasn't really soaked in that was my last game in Martin Stadium, to be honest, and man, just looking back at all the different games I've played here and all the different memories and the great teammates I've had and coaches I've had and staff, athletic trainers, nutritionists, it's been one heck of a ride, and I'm just super grateful for everything.
He knows what he's capable of doing, and that was classic Max Borghi. You know, and I think, you know, our fans will remember Max, and, you know, obviously he's going to be a Hall of Famer here someday. So just excited to put a little stamp on, you know, just his career and what he's done for our program, and, you know, just proud of Max.
It wasn't just Max getting it done out there in the senior class. All 6 of WSU's touchdowns were caught by, or were scored by seniors tonight, 2 of which, of course, by Max. And then Travell Harris and Calvin Jackson had 2 receiving touchdowns apiece. Super exciting for Jackson as his mom watched him in a collegiate game in person for the first time tonight. Calvin had 133 yards receiving, including a 73-yard touchdown you're about to see. And Travell had 95 yards receiving. Like I said, they both had 2 touchdowns. Just an incredible way to cap off these 2's careers, especially after the seasons they have both had. After the game, Jake Dickert said this definitely was the right way for these guys to all go out.
Fitting. And that's the word to me. It's fitting, you know, to have these guys and what they've done and everything they've given to this university and this program. And I've said this before, they're better people than players, you know, and when you really get to know these guys, there's a bond that they formed a long time ago, even before I was here. So just really fitting to see those guys go out the right way.
It meant everything, to be honest, man. Me personally, man, coming out at the beginning, I shedded a small tear just playing here my final game in Martin Stadium. But coming out here and putting on the show for the fans and for the alumni like we did, man, it's an awesome feeling. It's a great feeling for your last game to go out in style, and that's what we did.
WSU's next game, you know what it is, Cody.
I know what it is.
Yeah, it's the Apple Cup. WSU has not won an Apple Cup in 7 years. They have a legitimate shot at winning this one. You could tell after this game, these guys really, really ready to get a dub in Seattle. By the way, WSU hasn't gotten a win in Seattle since 2007. Talked to a few of the guys about it, and Jahad Woods said he is very motivated to get a win next week, not only for this team, but all the other teams that haven't gotten it. And Travell said he's definitely ready for that game. 5 o'clock Friday on FS1. Just really looking forward to that contest.
If I could base on your energy right now alone, I think they would have a fantastic shot at it.
Yeah, we'll see if they finally end this drought, because boy, do Cougar fans want that to happen.
Oh, they absolutely do.
Yes.
And of course, from what we saw from those highlights, it was an incredibly foggy night out there. The visibility very, very low in Pullman, and those temperatures very, very cold. But here in Spokane, some WSU fans kept nice and warm, and still they had an incredible view of tonight's game. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk explains new at 11.
Well, this is pretty cool. Cougar fans that couldn't or didn't want to make the trek all the way down to Pullman got to watch the Cougs live on the big screen here at Village Center Cinemas, and tickets were free. The theater has made it a point to try and show every Coug game over the years, and there were only a handful of fans here tonight, but one couple said it can get full, especially during weekend games. They said this is a great spot to watch the game.
You know, this is the greatest thing that Village Center Theater does for us, is allow us to come and watch here. We think we catch every single game. It's just a great atmosphere and a great feeling.
It is a big screen. Seats are comfortable. Consistency's been a little bit because of the pandemic, and we had to stop showing games or movies. But trying to get everybody back in has been a pleasure.
We try to support them by buying popcorn and pop and stuff like that to try to make it worth it to them, but because we just really love it. We just think it's a lot of fun. It's been a really interesting season. Coaching changes, and it's been a crazy season, but I like this new coach. I hope they stick with him.
And next Saturday, the theater will be showing the Apple Cup. Again, tickets are free. And the general manager told me they're exploring the possibility of showing some Gonzaga games and March Madness in the near future. Reporting in North Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you so much. Well, we have seen a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to the weather from this week, with everything from a windstorm on Monday to snow yesterday and today. Meteorologist Michelle Boss is joining us now. Michelle, how are things looking for the weekend?
Looking pretty gray, relatively quiet, but pretty gray out there. So take a look at satellite and radar right now. You can really see the low cloud cover across most of eastern Washington and North Idaho. Which you can't see really well with satellite images is the fog, but we do have some dense fog out there. In fact, bad enough that a dense fog advisory has been issued from tonight through Saturday morning for those areas shaded in gray. We can see visibilities of a quarter mile or less, and with temperatures hovering right around freezing in those areas that do dip below freezing, there could be some slick spots on area roadways. Here we can see visibilities across the inland northwest, Deer Park down to a quarter mile, Moses Lake down to a quarter mile, and Pullman down to a quarter mile. Spokane not too bad right now, visibility is above 5 miles, but as you can see, temperatures hovering right around that freezing mark. Here's a look at the next 12 hours. With the low clouds around, we could see an occasional flurry or some freezing drizzle coming out of those clouds, or just drizzle if temperatures are above freezing. But otherwise, just really a great weekend, at least for Saturday. High of 35 degrees, so cold as well. Sunday may see a few sun breaks with a high of 39.
Michelle, thank you so much. Other top stories today, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's director endorsed COVID-19 vaccine boosters for all adults. This comes after a CDC advisory group endorsed both Pfizer and Moderna's boosters for all adults. The committee's vote in favor of boosters came just hours after the FDA authorized the shots. Now, if you're fully vaccinated with Pfizer or Moderna, you can get a booster 6 months after your second dose. However, your second dose must have been in May if you want a booster shot this weekend. If you got the Johnson & Johnson single dose, you're eligible 2 months after your dose. But regardless of what vaccine you got, you do need to be 18 years and older to get a booster. Well, still to come on KREM 2 News, a cold case that had gone unsolved since 1959. What new details police are providing next.